Hey guys, what's up? My name is Karis. Welcome to Fix Your Shitty Movement. Coming at you from Kalo in Denver, repping Strong Bodies Performance in Lakewood, Colorado. Let's get this show on the road. I've been threatening you guys with a bracing Fix Your Shitty Movement for a long time. And I haven't been doing it because it's a pain in the ass to learn. It's very subtle, it's very easy to fuck up. And that's why people, frankly, don't take a lot of time to learn it or don't take the time to perfect it and constantly get better at it. Bracing is something that we do very naturally, right? If I went to punch you in the stomach or something, you would naturally brace, right? Pushing a heavy door open or something, right? You feel how that natural, right? That's like bracing. So what's the problem? Why can't we just do this shit? Well, because it's not quite the same. That's a reflexive thing, right? But in lifting, we have to create that. We have to learn how to create that kind of tension, right? And the same thing goes with breathing, right? We already breathe, so why the fuck do I need to learn how to breathe? Because you breathe like shit, motherfucker. We do it automatically, right? But we don't actually think about how to get better at it. And those two things, bracing and breathing, which are different, by the way, will make or break all of your movements. It's the single most important thing that you can learn how to do well in loaded movement. Other types of things too, think about football, right? I've never played football. Let's just say football though. If someone's going to tackle you, you're going to naturally brace, right? It's different. So the biggest issue that people have when they're, approaching weight is that they're not creating adequate tension. And the tension is what will allow you to not only brace, but be able to withstand, a heavy ass barbell on your back or whatever. The deadlift is often problematic for people because at least when you're unracking the weight, when you're squatting or whatever, right? Or bench press, right? You feel the weight. You get some kind of sense, or you're prepared for the weight, right? Your body's gonna be like, oh shit, that's heavy as fuck. With the deadlift, you kind of don't really know until you get down there. So it takes an extra amount of awareness and really skill to be able to create tension that you need. And in that same vein, this is why people say belts are cheating or something. Most people don't know how to fucking use belts. That's why they walk around with them doing bicep curls and shit with belts, because their backs just always hurt and the pressure feels nice, right? But that's not, the belt isn't actually doing anything for them. What the belt, the weightlifting belt, right, in powerlifting, facilitates is just a better brace, which will just give you a little bit of an edge if you know how to do it well, but also, some degree of protection, but not really much. Anyway, the belt is big. We'll probably get into that another time. I'm going to talk about the two exercises that are the most common and the most commonly butchered. Holy fuck, it's hard to watch, guys. It's really fucking hard to watch. This is why I'm always on my shit about Pilates, because Pilates takes core exercises that people destroy badly, do horribly, and they show you how to slow it down, make it very precise and very intentional, something, whatever. You know what I'm saying though, right? That's what's missing in your fucking warm-up. Because the way I'm about to show you that motherfuckers do bird dog and dead bug, it's just like, what are you doing, man? What are you trying to accomplish there? So let's start with dead bug, because this is probably, well, they're both probably pretty commonly seen. With dead bug, what you've more than likely seen before is this, right? Oh my God, so much core. So there's several inappropriate cues that go with this, and I'm gonna try to not say them here because I wanna save them for the inappropriate cues segment, but we'll see if I get that far. So there's a lot of things wrong with that, right? So first of all, I'm not even really working very hard, right? My back is flat on the floor, yes, but I'm in deep hip flexion on this side, right? I really moved this leg down so abruptly that I didn't really use anything other than my back extensors to get me there, meaning to just hold that lever there. With the arms, usually elbows are bent. See, I can't even do it that way anymore. Shoulders are rounded forward, something like this, right? Some people even do it with their head up. Do you want to be in this position when you deadlift? No. So why the fuck would you prepare your core and your spine to be like this before you go deadlift? To fuck up your back or what? No, it's just to get this like feeling like you're getting your abs working. You have to think in terms of specificity. Like, what are you trying to prepare your body to do if you even warm up, right? Which I know some people are like dead set against it. I'm assuming you aren't watching this unless you plan on trolling me later, in which case, I'll see you later. See if you can see the difference here with this dead bug. So, right away, I feel my core. Hopefully you can hear it in my voice. So what I'm doing is I'm not swinging my arm and leg around. I'm really focusing on keeping pelvic, lumbar stability. Ugh. And I can barely do that one, right? Why? I'm not using momentum. I'm being really focused and intentional. This is what Pilates teaches. I swear this isn't just going to be like a plug for Pilates, but seriously, get your shit together. What Pilates teaches is it's not what's moving that's working. It's what's stabilizing. And it's the same fucking thing in powerlifting, okay? So in the bench press, right? I mean, I know that motherfucker in and out because it is my weakest lift by far. But the hardest thing to learn is that it is not this that's the hard part in the bench press, right? Or the part where people fail. It's what the rest of your body is doing, right? Deadlift. I mean, there's, you know, as you know, it's like there's everything working on it, but the element that everybody leaves out of it is what's not moving, and that's the lats, right? The lats and the torso. So, do you see what I'm saying? If you're going to use these movements in your warm-up, you have to make them somehow relatable to the movement that you're trying to prepare for. So here's a little thing I learned from Kabuki. I got a lot of this like dead bug stuff from Kabuki especially. Do not miss an opportunity to take their course if you can. It's just like one of the best things I've ever done for barbell training, even though they're not barbell specific, but anyway. So if you have a band or something like this, not like a really stretchy band, this works really well with a partner, some kind of strap. So you see, right, I can pull that out like that. Now keeping my pelvis neutral, and that means not using the weight of my legs to push my pelvis in. Oh great, my back's flat, killing it. Nope, that's your fucking weight of your legs and your hip flexors that's doing that. Oh my God, I'm so excited for your inappropriate cue this week. Because it's the best one yet. So you have to make sure that you're in a position where you're actually trying to expand here, right? And not just shove the weight of your legs down. And the same goes here, trying to shove yourself this way to try to create a flat back, right? It's not the same thing. So I find that lifting my legs up one at a time and focusing on where I'm trying to move from, that right away makes a big difference. It's that intent, right? So if I lift one leg and then lift the other without bouncing, I don't know if you can hear that, but my voice changed, right? So already there's a little more tension on this band. So then from there, I'll bring my arms up with straight elbows. Straight elbows because that's going to help facilitate lat, otherwise you're more than likely to be like this. So, elbows are straight. Tension in the feet, in the hands, and I'm making sure to keep my ribs pulled down, right? So, without rounding my shoulders. So shoulders are back, ribs are down, like so. Now, the focus is not letting my pelvis move this way, and not letting my rib cage move this way, and not letting my pelvis move this way, and not letting my shoulders move this way, okay? So there's a lot going on. Yeah. It's not some fucking basic movement. You have to actually think about it. So here, can you tell I teach this all the time and I'm like already annoyed? So, less is more. Because you are not as strong as you think you are. You are, but when you're flying through shit, you are not. So if I'm holding it here, this is really fucking hard work. Strap is staying put, right? Do you see what I mean? Keeping the alignment, keeping the integrity of the movement is what's ultimately going to benefit me under load, okay? So there's tons of different ways that I teach dead bug, depending on what I think the individual needs to learn how to create tension. And there's also a lot of different ways to progress it to make it harder, because your body is really smart and it's going to figure out what you want, and your autopilot will just come so naturally. So that's why it's important with like corrective type stuff that you try to continue to up the ante as much as possible. All right, so now let's go into bird dog. I'm sure you've seen this one before too. I'll show you how it's most commonly done and how I want you to fix it. So most people do something like this, right? And you can see how this, I mean, do you want any of your lifts to look that way? I need to stop demonstrating stuff badly, because even just doing a few reps, like, it doesn't feel good in my body. Okay, so what we want to do with bird dog, or really what this works is the same, right? It's very similar to dead bug. You're working rotary stability a lot, and you work that in dead bug, but you have the floor to give your body some feedback about where you are in space. With bird dog, you're taking the floor away. So that's why bird dog is actually a more advanced version of that movement. And really it's a lot more similar to something like the squat or the deadlift, but the deadlift especially, because you're just out in space and you really have to rely on your own awareness to create the position that you want. You don't have anything to really base it off of. I hope that makes sense. So I curled toes under in bird dog, and it's made a huge difference for me. You want to make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, the heels of your hands, right? People will often set up something like this, or hips back like that too. So screw those shoulders into place. So just like dead bug, I'm thinking about engaging my lats, but knitting my ribs and keeping my low abs engaged this time, because I'm going to want to do this, right? Opposite of dead bug. So I have to think about pulling up here, okay? So then from there, it's really a matter of trying to, again, move those limbs without affecting the rest of the chain. So going step by step, and then floating up. And you can hear a difference immediately, and this really fucking sucks, okay? Yeah, it should suck. And one side is going to be a little harder to track than the other. Every time I will show people how to do that, as soon as I'm like, okay, let's see yours, right away. Motherfucker, did you watch me at all? Limb by limb, limb by limb. Pull those abs up. Damn, I need to do bird dog more, that shit sucks. So one thing you can use is a foam roller. But I actually prefer something that won't roll. So my goal is to try to keep my inner thighs up against the blocks and my thumbs up against the blocks. So I'm gonna, let me start on my other side, because I always demonstrate on that side. I'm scared. I already feel myself shifting. But again, the blocks give you an idea of where you are in space. Oh, hey, this side's stronger. What the hell? So I moved the block a little bit, for starters. Let me try that again. So slide one hand out, and then try not to disturb the block. There we go. So I'm really trying to keep my inner thigh and thumb pec up against the block. Okay? So that side's actually a little easier for me. Who knew? Probably after my neck came about her. So the main takeaway when you're learning how to brace and all this shit, you have to actually think about what you're doing. That's the point of the warm-up. You're not only warming up your body, you're warming yourself up neurologically. And it's the stuff that you do automatically that is the hardest to master, because you've been half-assing it for as many years as you've been alive. Not just you, me too. Kabuki showed me that. My name's Karis, this is Fix Your Shitty Movement. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you want to learn about bracing, because it's a lot.